If you could buy a stock that is run by a guy that has possibly made the best trade of all time, would you hesitate? Today, I'm talking about that stock. Let's dig in. Welcome to the newsroom. Today, I'm talking about ticker PSTH, currently trading at $25.40. It's only up about 15% since it hit the markets just under 3 months ago. This is Pershing Square Tontine Holdings. It's a SPAC company ran by Bill Ackman. So Bill Ackman, if you don't know who he is, this guy is an investor and hedge fund manager. He is the founder and CEO of Pershing Square Capital Management, a hedge fund management company. Ackman is considered by some to be a contrarian investor, but considers himself an active investor. So he's 54 years old. Current net worth, $2.2 billion. This is Bill Ackman. He is running this SPAC acquisition company. So if you don't know what SPACs are, it's pretty much like a blank check company. You might have heard about this because SPACs are at an all-time high this year, and Bill Ackman is doing a SPAC. So pretty much right now, he's looking for a company to merge with and acquire, and that will then become the company. So I spent some time last night trying to figure out what company is Bill Ackman going to merge with. I wanted to get into his mind. So I spent some time last night looking into this. So we have Airbnb as a possibility, we have Stripe as a possibility, and we have Bloomberg, but it could also be many others. I already found the article that Airbnb is doing their own IPO, so we're going to rule them out. So personally, what I think and what I've researched online, it's looking like it's going to be Stripe unless the deal falls through and something doesn't make sense to Mr. Ackman. So now if it's Stripe, that would be a very interesting acquisition. Here is the website. They are a merchant company. They handle the transactions. Transactions are huge. They're only going to get bigger. Less people use cash. Obviously, this is not new. Stripe would be a good acquisition, a tech company. Smart move. I think that would drive the price up tremendously. But it could also be a surprise and be something else. So I'm going to keep watching, keep taking information, and see what changes with Mr. Ackman's business plan as to what he wants to acquire. So speaking of Bloomberg, here's an interview I found that he did with them a couple months ago, talking about what he's looking for in a company. See if you could pick up any hints.
We're looking for our favorite businesses in the world are sort of asset-light, annuity-like businesses that can grow at a high rate over a very long period of time. With a lot of durability. To the extent that Airbnb meets those criteria and it's managed well, it has control over its cost structure, there's a path to meaningful profitability and cash flow generation, then it's a business that meets our criteria. If not, it's not a business that meets our criteria. And the companies that we're looking for, what I would describe as very, very durable growth companies, will accept a degree of volatility.
Okay, so watching that clip, he's looking for durable growth stocks. So he's looking for he talked about Airbnb, but Airbnb is out. But he's looking for a growth company, a very durable company. It's Bill Ackman. He's not going to pick up a shoe store or the dollar store. I like this line. The billionaire investor previously indicated his special purpose acquisition company, or SPAC, was eyeing mature unicorns and high-quality venture-backed businesses as takeover targets. He's looking for a unicorn. This guy wants to make money, and a lot of it. He's very smart. He's very diligent. So if he could acquire a unicorn and it surprises people, maybe not Stripe. I don't like when we know what it's going to be. I think serious investors want to know what it is, but retailers like to be surprised. My business model would be, I'm probably going to pick up this company that cleans leaves off the ground during fall. Investors be like, that's horrendous. I'm not buying that. But then when I actually tell you who I'm really acquiring, it's a massive EV company. And then it goes through the roof. Under promise, over deliver. So he's looking to take a minority stake in a company worth $10 to $15 billion. That's a big buy. Hedge fund manager Seth Klarman revealed several investments in SPACs during the third quarter, including a big bet on the largest SPAC from Bill Ackman. So Seth Klarman is also another massive hedge fund manager. So when these hedge fund managers buy in, put a little money into the pot, it's another green flag. So this SPAC raised over $4 billion in the largest deal of the year. All those other SPACs, nothing. $4 billion on this one. So the main reason why I like Bill Ackman is because he made one of the biggest bets this year during Rona season. He pretty much opened a short position and cashed in a lot of money. Bill Ackman turned a $27 million bet into a $2.6 billion in a genius investment. The trade was so good that one columnist said it might be the single best trade of all time. I think it might be, or at least tied for first from Bill Berry when he did the Big Short.
No stocks. I want to short the housing market.
So great trade, and that's what caught my attention when he said he's opening a SPAC. So my ears are listening. I'm listening to find out what is he buying, what's going on. And the coolest thing is about this company is it's only up 15%. So typically when a SPAC hits the market, you know this. You know SPACs this year, they just go bananas. This one just went on light waves. Light waves. Are they holding it down, or does it not deserve to go up? So at this point, you might be thinking, this is incredible. A SPAC company owned by Bill Ackman that's looking to buy a unicorn, sending this stock possibly to insane highs. But it's not all peaches and potatoes. What is it, peaches and cream? So there are actually some really bad trades that Bill Ackman is widely known for before this nice comeback and recovery trade this year. Bill Ackman apologized for a $4 billion Valiant mistake. So he went into this company, massive mistake. You can read those articles. Just look up Valiant and you can read all about it. Very big mistake, $4 billion. I mean, that's a tough loss. So here's another massive loss of Bill Ackman. After 5 years with Herbalife, he finally exits the trade. So Bill Ackman, this guy doesn't give up easily, which is a good and a bad thing. Also, he's a long-term investor. So when he's talking about this special acquisition company, he's talking about long-term. This guy likes to be with companies for 5 years, 10 years. His portfolio is very strong. He's with these companies for a long time. So this could be a long trade. So let's take a look at the chart and see if it makes sense. When you do technicals on this, it could be a little bit different, because this is mainly going to be based off of what company is he acquiring. That's what's going to really drive this stock. So the chart could be all over the place, but when that announcement is made, that's what's really going to shift this thing up or down or sideways. So we have a strong trend line. So you could have bought anywhere in the 2250s, 23s, 24s, and support would have been holding very nicely. It did break out of previous resistance. There's not a lot of it because this is only, it's a young company, only a couple months old. So looking at this box, anywhere in here above that trend line would be a good entry. If it breaks that trend line, I'd get out, or I would, if I had a small position, I would be looking to add. Now, two things can drive this thing straight down to Putville: no news or a weak merger. So if he picks a company that people are not too fond of, they're going to pull out. They're not going to invest driving this thing down to Putville. But he's probably okay with that. He's long-term. I'm not long-term, meaning his long-term. I'm my long-term, which is a couple months. I don't want to hold this thing for 5 years. No, that's boring. I'm not a Buffett. I'm alive. Also, the longer that this guy takes to release the news, well, first of all, he's been doing his due diligence every day looking for a company. But the longer it takes, people are going to lose interest. So, plus, we traders, we got goldfish minds. We want to know right now. If a stock moves one tick down, we're afraid. We want to sell, we start sweating. We're not in that game. We want to know, Ackman. Tell us, what are you buying? I am watching this stock very, very closely. If you want to know exactly when I decide to buy this thing, buy calls, take big positions, click the link in the description. I do stock alerts. You'll get a bing right to your phone, a little notification. It's going to say, I bought it, I sold it, I reduced it, I added. It's going to give you all those details. So that's it. That is Pershing Square, run by Bill Ackman, looking for the unicorn. Hit the subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, by hitting that subscribe, you're getting a little bit closer to retiring young.